Checker plate we ended up putting on the front, clear coated. I think it looks very well. So guys, this here is basically what happens when you lose a little bit of footage and you can't actually use it all in editing. Lost some of the footage that I wanted to show you guys. Actually made a major blunder with the floor, and I was actually short on the wood. Good friend of mine actually got me this. It's rough cut fir, came straight out of a mill in Alberta, and he was doing me a favor, and I kept saying 18 feet, 18 feet. I had this thing in my head that it was 18 feet, and I was just so wrong because the trailer is actually 20 feet. I was so determined to use the wood, and I was so crunched for time. This is on a Saturday evening. I just have so much on outside of work, inside work. It's just too much, and it's starting to get to me a little bit now. So I just keep her lit, little bit of improvising. I end up putting in a section of diamond plating on the front of the trailer, just from basically the first cross member right to the front of the trailer. And it's kind of serving two purposes. It's acting as a potential mount for a winch in future, and I had it in my head to cut a piece of diamond plate for the rear end of the trailer anyways, because I'm not sure if I explained it before. I'm putting in an oversized floor, so the floor sticks like half an inch above the side rails. I have reasons for this that I explain later on, and you'll see it in some of the footage. But I was determined to use the wood, crunched for time, had to get it done. I knew I'd have a little bit of a taper on the rear end of the trailer, so I do that here with a skill saw and a plane. Just kind of cut like 15-20 degrees into 8 inches of the plank at the back, and I got like 2 or 3 extra planks, so I was able to pick out all the extra or all the better planks out of what was there. I had to cut one slender one then up through the middle of the trailer, and I used a port power to push it all apart to get the wood in there, because they still, you know, some of them still had a wobble to them. They're rough cut like. So in the end, when all was said and done, it turned out absolutely amazing. Really, really happy with it. Front and rear end of the trailer, it's basically pinched down with 3/16 diamond plate, which I polished with a grinder, clear coated, and it just absolutely blinging. Absolutely blinging. That's the only thing I can say. It looks unbelievable. Really pops. I stained the fur with like a cedar, like I guess a medium oil-based stain. You'll see a little bit of that in the time lapse as well. Didn't take long to do. $50 for a tin of it. Very well worth doing. And I even had the pleasure of working with my nephew on this here for just a while of an evening. He was actually visiting. He was in town for more or less a long weekend, and he gave me a hand at this here, and thank God he did, because I wouldn't have got it finished otherwise. So now, that's what that plate is going to look like there. I planed a lot off the end of the planks there, and it is keyed into the planks, so it's flush. Yeah, not ideal, but we got there in the end. Bit of bolting up to do now, bit of smathering around, but that's going to be the plate on the back. Then have a couple of extra holes to drill along here. I'm going to sandwich the wood through this plate as well, and it's going to be bolted on across here. Try and get some sort of bolts in there that are kind of flush. Either countersink them or use button head bolts. Yeah, very happy with it now. That was a bit of a curveball at the front there, but actually hasn't turned out too bad at all. Happy enough. Oh, that looks good. Turn down the radio here. Looks very good. All the wood, all the new wood on the floor. And you can see how it stands out here now, how much the floor is oversized on that routered edge. Don't she look good? So satisfying. We're putting new bolts in here now, carriage bolts, with those marked and drilled, and we're just popping them in there now. Battery actually went dead there, but this is the final look at the trailer finished. I was just talking about how good this clear coat looks, how good the stained wood looks, and that oversized floor you can see sticking up about a ½ an inch. We also put a plate on the rear because it had a bit of a taper to it. Tapered the ends of all the planks with a plane, or a combination of a skill saw and a plane. And now you've got that extra little bit of grip as well, getting up on the back of the trailer. I think it looks unbelievable. Looks very well. Very happy with the stain on the floor. My nephew's actually been here with me the last 2 evenings helping me get this finished. We got all the last of the bolting up done this evening. Left them out until the floor was stained. Just has that really fresh look to it now. Absolutely delighted with it, very happy. And this diamond plate ended up turning out really nice. Adds a lot of character to the trailer for sure. Just hauling her out here now. Getting her out of this shop, out of the way. That is a last look at the finished product. Now, I know I said this work generally keeps me out of the pub, but it's not keeping me out of the pub tonight, so that'll do, folks. Talk to you again.